Started here, and I'm going to share my screen with you all. Great. And let's switch to this and adjust that. And I hope you can all see my screen and can see me. And I'm going to talk about splinter bids. And a splinter bid, was invented at least 50 years ago or more, is a double jump shift in response to one of a suit to show support for your partner and a singleton or void in the suit you bid. And it shows enough points for game, typically something in the range 10 to 14. And for those of you who's losing the losing trick count, it's typically a six loser hand. In other words, better than a bare minimum because of the good shape. It's often six losers rather than seven. So that's what it is. We'll look at some examples of it. Is that typically it should not be an ace. Now, that is actually not a universal view. And some people, some authorities say you can splinter with an ace, and some say you shouldn't. I prefer that it isn't an ace. And actually, I did a whole other video, which I will link to in the description of this one, as to whether you should splinter with a singleton honor. But I think it's easier if it's not an ace. So what are the splinter bids? Well, if you open one heart, the splinter bids are three spades, four clubs, or four diamonds. And if you open one spade, the splinter bids are all at the four level, four clubs, four diamonds, four hearts. And the way to realize it must be a splinter bid is that if you bid one spade in response to one heart, that's a normal response. If you bid two spades, that's a jump showing a strong hand, 16 points and a good suit. And so if you make a double jump, it is three spades. So those are the splinter bids in response to a major. And you can also use splinter bids in response to a minor. And the responses are very similar. Response to one club, a jump to the three level is a splinter bid, and response to one diamond, jump to three of a major or four clubs are splinter bids. And splinter bids above three no trump do not need, most bids above three no trump don't need to be alerted except for artificial bids made on the first round of bidding. So they should be alert. All these splinter bids should be alerted because they're all artificial bids made on the first round of bidding, whether or not you're bidding at the three level or the four level. So I'm going to go through some examples of splinter bids, and here's one where you open one heart and your partner jumps to four clubs. Now, that four club bid means that they have enough points for game. They've got a fit for you in hearts, and they're showing a singleton or void in club suit. And if what that means is that you should then look at your hand and see how well your hand fits in with their singleton or void. So here you have just a 7-4-3 in clubs. So that is a good fit for your partner's singleton or void. So in other words, you'll be able to rough those losing clubs, two of them, and that is a great fit for you. So if they bid four clubs here, a good response by you is maybe to look for a slam. And if you bid four no trump and they respond five diamonds, that shows one ace. And if you follow the guideline that you shouldn't splinter with a singleton ace, that would have to be the ace of diamonds. And I hope you can see that fits in very well with your hand. And you should end up here in six hearts. So this is what your partner may have here. They may have, this is a hand with just 11 points plus more for the distribution. But I hope you can see that six hearts should be a very good contract here. You've got club losers in your hand, but you can rough those in dummy. And you won't lose any diamonds there with the ace there. So you would end up in a good contract of 6 hearts there. If I change the bidding a little, let's change. I've kept the west hand the same, but now your partner splinters in 4 diamonds, showing a singleton or void. And that singleton opposite your king 5 in diamonds is not such a good fit. In other words, your king is a sort of bit wasted in values because you're probably going to lose 1 trick in diamonds anyway, and your king is wasted in the sense. It would be much better if they'd splintered in clubs. And if they do splinter in diamonds, you should probably not really go much further and perhaps just sign off in 4 hearts. Here I've made the east hand the same, but I've swapped round the holdings of east in the minor suits between clubs and diamonds. And I hope you can see that you really don't want to be in any slam here because you're quite likely to lose a diamond and at least 1 club. And you really want to be probably just in 4 hearts there. So when your partner makes a splinter bid, what you should do is look at your holding in the suit they have splintered in and see how good a fit it is in that suit. And the best holdings when your partner makes a splinter bid are, let me just move that, are these holdings, maybe the ace and some low cards, or maybe just 3 low cards. Those are the ideal holdings for evaluating your hand when your partner makes a splinter bid in that suit. Fair holdings might be something like ace, queen X, or jack XX, or 2 cards. And poor holdings are ones where you've got honors other than the ace. So, for example, king, queen, I hope you can see that's a poor holding opposite a splinter bid because you're going to lose 1 trick anyway. And the splinter bid, the singleton in that suit in your partner's hand doesn't really help you much. So scattered honors like king, queen, or king, jack, these are typically poor holdings and should make you think, give you cause to think that perhaps you shouldn't really be going for a slam here. So let's have a look at a few more examples of splinter bids. Here you open 1 heart and your partner jumps to 3 spades. That's showing a singleton or void in spades and a fit for you in hearts. And you need to think about how that spade singleton or void fits in with your holding. And it fits in quite well. So your partner's got their points in the other suits, and you may well be thinking about looking for a slam here. You might go to 4 no trump, see if they've got a missing ace, or if you know about Q bidding, you could also bid a new suit. If you bid 4 clubs, that's showing first round control in clubs and an interest in slam. And if your partner bids 4 diamonds, they're showing first round control in diamonds, which is presumably the ace. And so either by Q bidding or by going to Blackwood, you would probably bid 6 hearts there. And here on this hand, your partner actually has a void in spades, but you don't know that. You know it's either a singleton or void. And I hope you can see that 6 hearts should be a good contract there. You'll be able to set up your club tricks and discard any losers in if you have a diamond loser, or ruff the spades in dummy. Any comments on that, anyone? Splinter bids can also be used in some other sequences, and if a bid would be forcing, then the bid in that suit at a level higher than that is a splinter bid. And it shows good trump support, enough points for game, and a singleton or void in the suit bid. So in some cases, it does not need to be a double jump. So what we're looking at is something like this, where you opened a diamond and your partner responded a heart. Now, that heart bid might just be 6 points, but even so, you've got enough points for game with your 18 points. So this is another time that you can make a splinter bid saying, partner, I support your hearts, by jumping to 3 spades. And you're saying, I'm interested in a slam in hearts here. And your partner might ask about Blackwood, or again, if they're cue bidding, they might bid 4 clubs, which has first round controlling clubs. And then if you bid 4 no trump, you're asking about aces, or in this particular example, I've got it that you're playing Roman key card Blackwood, and the 5 heart bid shows 2 key cards without the queen of trump. So that's probably going to be a great. 6 hearts is probably going to be a good spot for you. Even here, your partner's only got 9 points here, but I hope you can see that they're spade losers. They have in your hand, you can ruff. And again, with only 27 points combined, but with a very good fit, 6 hearts should be a good contract there. Any comments on that?
Yeah.
Tony, when your partner opens 1 diamond or whatever, you have no idea they've got as many as 18 points. So how can you start splintering with 9 points?
You don't. So you didn't splinter. You just bid 1 heart.
Oh, sorry, that's the 1 heart. Sorry.
So
No, the other one was you had 11 points.
Yeah.
You splintered. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important to realize that in these sequences here, because the 1 heart bid might only be 6 points, you must have something close to 19 points to be sure that you've got enough for game. So that's what the splinter bid shows, that you've got enough points for game, and it's showing interest in the slam, showing a singleton or void in the suit you bid.
Tony, if you don't do cue bids, so it goes 1 diamond, 1 heart, 3 spades, what would East then say? Because they're so weak, they wouldn't go into 4 no trump, would they?
Well, they should realize that their partner is has got enough for game. So even though so they would look at their holding in spades, which is quite reasonable here. They've got 2 wasted points, the queen, but they may they should realize that they are in the slam territory here, and they may well ask about aces there. And if their partner shows they show the 2 aces there, then that might be enough to go for the slam. It's a little easier if you do cue bids, which is another topic we'll do again in a few weeks' time, because you can sort of express interest in a slam without blasting into 4 no trump. Here's another example. You might think about making a splinter bid. You open 1 spade and your partner bids 2 hearts. Now that 2 heart bid, as well as promising a 5 card heart suit, should be something like 10 points or so. So with your 17 points, you have enough for game. You could just bid 4 hearts, but the other bid you can make to suggest an interest in a slam is to bid 4 diamonds. So the 3 diamond bid would be absolutely forcing here, but you bid 4 diamonds here as a splinter to show a support in hearts. And then your partner may here, if they're cue bidding, they would bid 4 spades. They might bid 4 spades to show that they have first round control in spades. And if you then go into 4 no trump, they can then respond with their aces, or as in this case, their key cards. And if they bid 5 spades, that shows 2 key cards plus the queen of hearts, and you should end up there in 6 hearts, which I hope you can see is going to be a good contract again.
Tony, me again.
Well,
Why, if you've only got 1 ace, would you even be considering a slam if you this west hand?
Well, so you've got 1 ace, but your partner's got at least 10 points. So you basically, as long as your partner's got so if your partner only had 2 aces, only had 1 ace, then you would stop in 5 hearts. But if
then I have no aces.
Well, uh, I mean, they've basically, when you bid your four diamonds, if they were, absolutely not interested in a slam, they should just sign off in four hearts. If they continue to bid, then they're showing interest in a slam, and so that's why I think you should cooperate. You have 27 points or so. I'm talking about it from West's point of view here, and uh, and with a singleton that is presumably a good fit for your partner, um, for them to carry on bidding, then that would be enough. But
Tony, can I just ask, when West goes four diamonds, that's just what, one jump? It's not a double jump. Is that right?
that's right, yes.
So that's what you do if you're
Yes.
in that position.
Yeah. So
Didn't you do a double jump in the previous one though?
so I think it may have been. So originally splinter bids were just used, in direct response to one of a suit. And then people thought, oh, we can also use them in these situations when you're open and you're supporting your partner. And in that case, because the three diamond bid would be absolutely forcing, you use the four diamond bid as a splinter.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So I recommend that if the opponents double the opening bid, that splinter bids are still on. But if the opponents make a suit overcall, I recommend that splinter bids are off, unless you splinter in the opponent's suit. So in this case here, if you open one heart and north doubles and east bids three spades, that should be a splinter bid in support of hearts. But if they've overcalled, say, three diamonds, then three spades should not be a splinter bid. That should just be natural and just show a real, would have to be a pretty good suit there to be bidding at the three level. Or if they bid three diamonds and you want to splinter in diamonds, then you can bid four diamonds, because that will be unambiguous. That will obviously be a splinter bid there, showing support for hearts with a singleton or void in diamonds. So what's the advantage of splinter bids? Well, very often you're able to bid slam with only something like 27 or more combined points with good distribution, as long as your singleton or void fits in well with your partner's hand. Disadvantages, very occasionally your partner may forget about them or get confused about them. And in particular, I just want to highlight that one spade, four hearts is sometimes taken as natural. It sounds sort of fairly natural, but it is, of course, a splinter bid supporting spades with a singleton or void in hearts. I've got actually more about this in my book, which you can purchase from lulu.com, and I cover there splinter bids, Q bids, Roman key card, and you can buy that online, or you can get it from me directly if you see me during the week. Before we go on with the game, I just thought I'd switch to show some hands and get your thoughts about how the bidding would go. Let's have a look at this one where you're south, you open one spade, west doubles, and north bids four hearts. East passes, and I've got the first poll here, which is, what do you think south should rebid with this hand? Have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for four no trump, with others saying four spades. One person passed and one person wanted to bid something else. If you want to tell me what you'd like to bid, that's fine. Well, I think this is a pretty good fit for me. My partner's got a singleton or void in hearts, and it's not a natural bid because splinter bids are still on after a double. So four hearts is agreeing spades as trumps, and that fits in really well with my 9-5-2 in hearts. it means I'll be able to ruff those hearts and my partner's points are in other suits. So I think I'm going to either go straight to a slam or perhaps bid 5 no trump and sorry, 4 no trump, which is Blackwood here. And if my partner shows 1 ace with 5 diamonds, that should be the ace of diamonds. And I hope you can see that fits in very well with your hand. And you should want to be playing that in 6 spades. So this might be a kind of hand your partner has here. And if the opponent's lead a heart, you'll be able to ruff a heart here. So let's have a look at our potential losers. We've got heart losers here, but we can ruff those in dummy. And we've got no diamond losers. We have a possible club loser, but what we can do with that club loser is maybe discard it on the 3rd diamond. So that's what I'm going to do on this hand. If they play the ace of hearts, if they play another heart, I'm going to ruff that one, of course. And then I might start by drawing trumps. And that's second round gone. And then once the trumps have gone, I can just plan to ruff that last heart in dummy and then play the diamonds. I'm going to play the king, the ace, and on the queen, of course, I can discard a club loser, so I don't need to risk any finesse. And then played that way, I should be able to make 12 tricks there. So again, your partner's only got 12 points there, but because their singleton fits in very well with your diamond suit, with your heart suit, you should be able to make 12 tricks there. Any comments on that one? How about this one? This time, your hand is the same, but the bidding has gone 1 spade, 2 diamonds, and your partner jumped to 4 diamonds, and it comes back to you. And I'd like you to think about what you think South should bid with this hand. So here comes the next poll. Let's have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for 4 spades here, with the rest going for 4 no trump. And yes, I agree. I think you should be discouraged when your partner splinters here in diamonds, because it's a bad fit for your diamond holding. So I think a good bid there is just 4 spades. It doesn't sort of completely rule out the possibility of a slam if your partner has a very good hand, but it's saying that you're not interested. The splinter bid has not been a good fit for you, and you're happy to play this in 4 spades. So this again is the north hand, and it's very similar to the other one, except the splinter was before it was in hearts, and I've swapped around the hearts and the diamonds. And I hope you can see that you don't really want to be in a slam here. If you look at our potential losers, we've got, well, 1 or 2 heart losers and a diamond loser. So at least 1 heart, at least 1 diamond, and possibly a club as well. So you just do well to settle for 4 spades here. If they lead a trump here, let's suppose we win that one and we play another round of trump, and we draw the last round, and then we're going to maybe play one of our other suits. You might try the heart finesse. You might try the 10 here. That here loses to the jack. If they come back with a diamond, that loses to the ace. If they play another one, you can, of course, ruff that. And then maybe try the set up the heart. If you play a heart here, I'll just bring up the 4 hands. You can see that West actually on this layout has to play the king. So you win that one. And your hearts are actually now good. The queen and the 9 are good. So you can win this trick with the 9. You can then cross back to dummy and cash the queen, discarding a club. So you don't need to lose a club. And played that way, you should make 11 tricks. But you don't even... you really don't want to be in a slam there, or you're not very keen on the slam once your partner has splintered in diamonds. You can see that's not a great fit for you. And finally, let's try this one. Here, South opens a club, West bids 3 diamonds, and I'd like you to tell me what you think North should bid on this hand. So it's gone 1 club, 3 diamonds, and what do you think North should bid here? Have a look at the results. And the most popular response was 4 diamonds, with us bidding 5 clubs, 5 no trump, or double. And I think this is a good hand to make a splinter bid. Splinter bids in support of a minor suit are not that common because sometimes you want to be playing in 3 no trump. But here I can show an interest in slam, a good fit for my partner's clubs, by bidding 4 diamonds. And my partner should realize that has to be a singleton or void. And if you then look at that from South's point of view, I've got the last poll of the evening, which is what do you think South should respond to that? So it's gone 1 club, 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds by your partner. And what do you think South would bid with this hand? Have a look at the results. And most of you have gone for 4 no trump, others have done 5 clubs or 6 clubs, 1 person bidding 4 hearts. And I think when your partner splinters in diamonds, you should be encouraged to look for a slam here. It means that you'll be able to rough diamonds in dummy, and I think I will probably check on aces with 5 no trump. And if my partner shows 1 ace, then I'm hoping that is the ace of spades, and we should have enough for 6 clubs. When you're using Blackwood, especially when you're aiming to play in a minor suit, clubs or diamonds, you do have to think about what the responses might be, because as you can see, the 5 diamond bid here commits you to 6 clubs anyway. If they bid 5 clubs, saying they didn't have any ace, then you would just pass and play it in 5 clubs. But as they bid 5 diamonds, you of course have to bid 6 clubs, and that should be a pretty good contract. If we have a look at the 2 hands together, you can see that you're not going to lose any clubs, and you've only got 1 diamond to lose. You can rough the others. And the only other loser you've got is in hearts. You may have a loser there. But again, you can, rather than try any heart finesse, you can cash 3 spades once you've drawn trumps and discard a heart. So that's what I'm going to do on this hand. I suppose I win that first trick with the jack, and I start by drawing trumps. We need to draw 1 more round. And then I'm going to have to give up a diamond here. Okay, but whatever they play back here, I'm going to win that one and rough a diamond. I can then play my ace of spades, which I've set up, and of course I can discard a heart on that, so I don't have to risk any heart finesse. Then I can come back to my hand, rough the last diamond, and then I've got the king and just trumps left at this point. So I'll make my 12 tricks there. So again, it's an example of a splintering in a minor suit. Doesn't come up as often, but you can indeed splinter there and hopefully end up in 6 clubs. Anyone have any questions on that? My apologies once again for having the wrong talk ready today, but we'll talk about Roman key card next Thursday. Anyone have any questions on any of that?
Just one question, Tony. Is there an associated splinter bid handout that you could share?
Yes.
Put it on a web link or something?
Actually, if you go to my website there, bridgeclass.co.uk, there's a handout on Splinter Bids, okay, which is very similar to the slides we've talked about there. So you'll find that on there under section on bidding. There's a handout on Splinter Bids.
Okay.
Okay, we'll end the talk there. Let me just switch back. Yeah, and the game will start in 8 minutes time. So do log on if you wish to play this evening. And if you need a partner, you can just join the game. Or if you see anyone here you'd like to play, you'd like to tell me you need a partner, you can do so now. But still join the